That's a very astute observation.
What does it mean, astute?
Clever and clear. Um, I think one of the reasons for this kind of problem is that the human ego is not prepared to deal with such complex issues. And there's this, perhaps described as light and dark within everybody, which is covered in all the religious concepts and principles. And understanding what is morally correct through religious principles doesn't actually make it any easier to make the choice between lightness and darkness or between good and bad. That choice is constantly complex, and the ego pushes us towards darkness, whereas the basic religious precepts, concepts, ideas pull us towards the light. And so we have this constant inner struggle and inner battle within ourselves to find what we can only define as our own truth, something which makes sense to us based on our experiences. And the the result of all of this together is that we are constantly redefining things or trying to find new definitions for things which essentially don't change. We suffer today the same problems that people suffered thousands of years ago. We live in a more interconnected yet complex world, yet we still experience great joy and great sadness. We still experience great frustration and annoyance and anger sometimes. And we still experience um, empathy and love. And we have to transform these emotional experiences into positive energies for our life. It's um, it's always difficult, just because inside everyone there's we are pulled in all directions by everything that is around about us. We are in a natural state of manipulation, and this means that we are changed by all the things that happen in our environment, by all of our experiences, and it's very hard to focus on what is the core of ourselves and what is really important for ourselves, because we're pulled by our family, we're pulled by our jobs, we're pulled by the weather, we're pulled by the ebb and flow of life from day to day. And I think that for a lot of people, religion is something which helps to center themselves on key things that are fundamentally important for happiness in their life. And that is what I have seen in those who have strong beliefs. That belief system is powerful because it helps them discover who they are in a world which makes no sense. and and I think that this is great. And that is why I am fascinated by religions. I'm fascinated by the ideas that they present. I'm fascinated by the possibilities. I'm fascinated by the concept that belief might or might not be reality. I'm fascinated by the principles of science, that an idea might or might not be true, and therefore the there are a lot of fundamental ideas in science and religion which are exactly the same. A quest for truth, a quest for understanding, a quest for knowledge. And I don't really see why there should be any conflict between those two things. The only reason there should be a conflict is if ego steps in and we get pulled towards darker thoughts. And it's it's powerful because when we understand this, we realize it's something which affects us through every second of every day, because we are constantly forced by life to make decisions and choices. And these choices define the world around about us. They define our success, define our failure. And it's then necessary for us to take responsibility for our choices. And these are things that um, the basic, for example, teachings of Christianity are to make us focus on how we make the right choices every day to make sure we keep on track and head in the right direction.